My first.
Good.
Okay. What was your first match like?
Rip Rogers, 1991, and at Center Stage. That was my first television match. My first real match, I have that on tape also, and it was absolutely. No, actually, my first one was good because it was the guy that trained me. But I got a second or third or fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18, 20. That is really funny. I was really bad at it, and I realized really quick that it's just as simple as you're only as good as who you're wrestling.
Definitely.
Because when I went to Global, I was pretty good because I was wrestling guys that were pretty good. So you're only as good. I mean, Ric Flair can only do so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've got to pull some float.
Definitely.
All right. What was your time with Global Wrestling Federation like?
What was my what?
Your time with Global Federation. What was that like?
I really enjoyed it. The lady that tried it was really a sweet lady. She was cool. She loved me to death. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember her name. That was 20 years ago. It seems, or almost 20. But she was just a great lady, and they really tried to make that a go, and it just wasn't there, man. It just wasn't there. It was the wrong time. But they gave it a full go at it, and they repainted the whole sportatorium and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a big step in my career too, because I was able to wrestle some guys that were good. Definitely. And I got better, so it was a big step in my career.
What was it like? Or actually, no. Let me ask you this first. How did you get the call up to WCW?
I just got the call from Global saying they're stopping, and I literally, I swear to you, 30 minutes later, phone rang, and it was Magnum. And I answered the phone, and he goes, "Is Marcus Bagwell there?" I said, "This is him." And he said, "Yeah, this is Magnum." I said, "Magnum who?" And he laughed, and I realized it was Magnum TA.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh my God, brother, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I just got off the phone with Bill Eadie, and he told me that I'm running no more, and and blah blah blah. I was depressed, and he said, "Well, Dusty wants to meet you." And I said, "Dusty Rhodes?" He goes, "Yes." He said, "Dusty wants to have an interview with you." So they brought me in, and I went down and did my best Marcus Alexander Bagwell impression and got hired.
Nice. Eddie, go ahead.
What was it like teaming with the likes of Tom Zink, Too Cold Scorpio, and the Patriot?
All of those tag teams were just stepping stones. And I don't want that to belittle those steps. Those steps were huge, but they were stepping stones to the character of Buff and the NWO. So, it was just a way to bring true wrestling again back. And with the tag team, I felt like, and it was one of the best times of my life because I love tag team wrestling. So, because that's what they made me do, so I got pretty good at it. I mean, nobody talks about the good things about me, but I'm like an 8 or 9 time world tag team champion. With like 5 or 6 different partners too, brother.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about those kind of things, but I think it's a crazy number like that nobody's ever done. But I love tag team wrestling, But all those tag teams were steps to being my character Buff. Even as Buff, though, I'd much rather have tagged with Scotty or tagged with Norton with the Vicious and Delicious thing. I was a better Buff character with a partner.
Definitely. My next question for you is, did you think the NWO would get as big as it did?
Absolutely not. Everybody, the whole idea was to make us the heels, and we got over. So all the babies turned heel, and they were getting booed at house shows, and all the NWO heel guys are getting cheered. So it was a big shake-up in backstage,
Yeah, because they weren't expecting that.
Yeah, right.
No. We just knew for a fact we were going to probably the biggest hills. I mean, Disney actually had us removed from their property because that was back when we first started getting heat. They were throwing stuff in the ring. And
Yeah.
That's how companies, judge how much heat you got. If you get somebody to throw something in the ring, that's a lot. That's a big deal. And you
Exactly.
remember when NWO first happened, brother, it was batteries, eggs, coins. We always had our glasses on. It was crazy.
Yep.
But Disney removed us from their property because it was too dangerous for the kids. That's when we started moving up to bigger buildings and able to draw bigger buildings, and it just got bigger than we knew.
Definitely.
All right. How did you get the moniker Buff the Stuff?
Just me. It rhymed, and I didn't think of the name. Nick Patrick, the referee, did for this. On a flight home, we were all trying to come up with a name. And Marcus Alexander Bagwell was so plain, and where we go? That's my real name, but still, it ain't a cool name. And we're going back and forth, and finally, Nick Patrick said, "What about Buff?" And everybody just went, "That's it. That's it. That's perfect. Buff Bagwell." So
I think the name is fitting.
He was the reason why my name is Buff.
Okay.
Definitely. My next question is for you. Is in 1999 you had a 3-round boxing match with Rowdy Ray Piper. What was that like?
I feel like for a boxing match that went the way it did with my mom involved and everything, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good television. It was a little weak, a little weak. We probably could have done a little better, but let me back up. I could have probably did better. I remember feeling that way after the match, and Roddy put me over. That's a big deal. And I won the match, and then the next night I beat Flair. So it was like, hey man, here comes Bagwell. He's finally getting his push. And then the next match was in Atlanta, and David Flair beat me. So it was kind of like, whoa. So, but anyway, when he did it, he was business, and I thought it was a pretty good match.
Definitely.
All right. Can you tell us about the storyline with Chris Canyon, where they brought in a lady they called Judy Bagwell?
That's my real mom.
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's Judy Bagwell. That's my real mom. And she did all those. I mean, she was black and blue in her legs, and took all those diamond cutters and stuff. But it was a very rememberable angle because it was the last one, and the company was over.
Yeah.
That was the last pay-per-view, I'm pretty sure, up in Vancouver.
That was what, 2001, I guess, right?
Yeah. I remember Brad. Barry. I can't remember Barry's name. TNA president. TNT president. He was up there, and counting coins, and they were cutting corners, and the Titanic had been hit. We knew that already. We were just trying to stop the water, but I'm pretty sure the Vancouver pay-per-view was the last pay-per-view ever of WCW.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
Nice.
Did anyone know that WCW was going to end when it did, that last night in Florida?
Oh, absolutely not. I was there in Panama City, wheeling up with about $15 to $18 million worth of talent, wheeling up our bags, tired from the previous pay-per-view night, and we walk. First thing we see is WWF trucks. The WWF trucks, we're like, uh-oh. And then we start seeing people crying. Everybody's crying, and everybody's getting pictures with, like, the original, horsemen, and there's pictures going on, and everybody's grabbing what they can. I mean, it was over, Jack, over. And Shane McMahon, they said, by the time we consumed all that for a few minutes, they said a meeting in 2 minutes with Shane McMahon. And so we went in this room with all the wrestlers, and he walked in and said, some of you are going to be fired, some are going to keep. He goes, there's no certain rhyme or reason. It's just we're going to go through and keep who we want, get rid of who we want, but we own the company now. And it is our shot. It is our thing. And good luck to everybody in here. And sorry for the. No, he didn't say sorry about nothing. He just went, just good luck, and everybody clapped. I remember everybody clapped, and I looked over at Luger. Luger wasn't clapping, And I kind of did one of those soft claps, but everybody's like, "Oh, thank you, Shane, for this fight, winning the silver fighter." So basically, he just fired 180 guys.
Wow.
But nicely said it.
Oh, okay, that makes it different, right?
Yeah.